Why are you playing football?
We'll get started here in about 2 minutes with the schedule. No, individuals here that need to get on the cameras. We'll get you out of here. 30 times. All right, it is 6:15, so athletic assistant. She will be the one you need to talk to about physicals, alternate gear cards, coats, all that good stuff. So after the presentation, if you have any questions about that, please stop and see Patty. That is for 9-12. Mrs. Johnson in the middle school takes care of 5 through 8. So 5th graders, only 2 sports that you guys are able to participate at the middle school level is cross country. 5 through 8 can go there, as well as wrestling. 6th grade can do those 2 as well as track, and everybody else is 7 through 8 as well. So just kind of keep those things in moving forward. So, all right, just some simple things to get us all on the same page as we're moving through this 2023-2024 school year. First of all, thank you. Thank all of you, first of all, for being here. Thank you for supporting athletics and being a part of the programs here for you students at Cumberland High School and Cumberland Middle School. We have multiple sports, lots of different things that you guys can do, and a lot of you take advantage of those things. So keep doing those things as we go forward. Some points of emphasis as we move through this presentation. I think I have about 6. I got some things that kind of go with it. They're going to relate to all the things that we're going to know for this school year and beyond. I know all of you have read the Code of Conduct, correct? Raise your hand if you read it from front to back. Exactly, that's why we're here, so that way you guys get the main points of this thing, and we can move ourselves forward as we go. First thing we're going to talk about is these 2 words. We, obviously in math, that means what? That means, okay? I've seen some things in the last several years, and again, we haven't had a code meeting since COVID hit, and I apologize for that, but I think we're going to get it back going, and a lot of things fell through the hoops, so I apologize. This, for us to be successful in a small school, needs to take place. If we worry about the second one more than the first one, our programs are going to suffer. Okay? We need to be about the team. All right? We need to be about everybody on the team, supporting the starter, the guy who comes in, all right? The guy that is injured on the bench, everybody. The we needs to be more important than the me. If that happens, we're going to have a fun year. Regardless of wins or losses, folks, we're about those things over there on that wall. We'll talk about those as we go forward. Maybe not all of you can read that, see that from where you're at, but when we comes before me, you become the person and team you are meant to be. I talked to a group of boys last year about a couple different things, and we had a great conversation, and it actually, I believe, helped them to have the successful season that they had. And we talked about the score on the scoreboard is more important than what's in the book. And that we versus the me mentality kind of drove those guys to where they were at. A team that believes together achieves together. So again, those common goals, those things that are super, super important within groups. Again, obviously individually you can strive to get better. Okay? But if you're worried more about you than worrying about what can happen within the group and the success of the group, or somebody else being more successful than you, that's where it's going to go in a different direction. So again, believe together, and hence one of our big things over there. So this all starts with being this. And that's over on the wall. Belief, enthusiasm, accountability, vision, effort, respect, and sacrifice. Your character, folks, is going to take you a whole lot farther than any of these sport things here, unless you're going to play professional stuff. I've only been around a few individuals in 27 years that I've been part of athletics, whether as a teacher, coach, or as an AD, that have got that chance to go on to that level. 3 kids. Not saying that you couldn't do it. It takes work, it takes dedication, it takes ability, it takes genetics, it takes lots of different things, and something to do there. But if we can be positive and really show those things true and all kinds of other character traits, we're going to go a long ways. Got a little video here that goes along with these character traits that kind of hopefully will hit the point home.
Meet your next pillow. Why do we make our pillow in the shape of a cube? I'll tell you.
Sorry.
Recruiting enthusiastic kids is harder than it's ever been. Because every kid watches TV and they watch the NBA or they watch Major League Baseball or they watch the NFL, whatever sport they watch, WNBA, it doesn't matter. And what they see is people just being really cool. So they think that's how they're going to act. And they haven't even figured out which foot to use as a pivot foot, and they're going to act like they're really good players. You see it all the time. You see it every AAU tournament. You see it every high school game. So recruiting kids that are like really upbeat, loving life, love the game, have this tremendous appreciation for when their teammates do something well, that's hard. That's hard. It's really hard. So on our team, me, my coaching staff, we put a huge premium on body language. And if your body language is bad, you will never get in the game. Ever. I don't care how good you are. If somebody says, well, you just benched Stewie for, 35 minutes in the Memphis game a couple of years ago. Yeah, I did. Oh, that was the motivator for the South Carolina game the following Monday. No, it wasn't. Stewie was acting like a 12-year-old. So I put her on the bench and said, sit there. It doesn't matter on our team. And the other coaches might say, well, you can do that because you got 3 other, All-Americans. I get that. I understand that. But I'd rather lose than watch kids play the way some kids play. I'd rather lose. And they're allowed to get away with just whatever. And they're always thinking about themselves. Me. I didn't score, so why should I be happy? I'm not getting enough minutes. Why should I be happy? That's the world that we live in today, unfortunately. And kids check the scoreboard sometimes because they're going to get yelled at by their parents if they don't score enough points. Don't get me started. So when I look at my team, they know this. When I watch game film, I'm checking what's going on the bench. And if somebody's asleep over there, somebody doesn't care, somebody's not engaged in the game, they will never get in the game. Ever. And they know that. They know I'm not kidding. I'm not getting enough minutes. Why should I do that? That's the world that we live in today, unfortunately. And kids check the scoreboard sometimes because we're being yelled at by them.
So, be good teammates. Okay? Really focus on the we. Right? If you didn't get the bucket, you didn't score a touchdown, you didn't get the spike, help celebrate, because that's going to help bring everybody up and get us moving forward. So again, we is greater than me. This is Patty, and she's answering the phone. Thank you for calling the Beaver Institute. All our representatives are busy, but what did you expect? So, busy. All right, choices, athletes. Life's all about choices, right? Okay? And our choices come down to 2 things. Not so good and good. We're going to talk about those in that particular order. This is referring to the code and main components in terms of some consequences that could come out based on the choices. So, some things in terms of not so good. Number 1 is consuming and possession. That's referring to illegal substances, alcohol, drugs, tobacco, vaping. It doesn't matter. I've seen them all as we start my 7th year here already in terms of having to talk to athletes and making some poor choices. So again, you make the choice, the consequences will follow. Guilt by association. That's in there if you read that. Anybody ever understand what that means? Which means if you are at a gathering or at a party that's going on with a bunch of your peers, and some of those first ones come out, and you stick around, That information comes back to me, I do my research, do my investigating, we have conversations, and I found that you were there after you knew that the stuff was there. That means you'll get a code violation. So again, guilt by association, all right? You're there, it's there. I can't tell any difference between that. So for you, if that happens, you're at a buddy's house and all of a sudden somebody starts drinking beer or whatever, get out. I got the comment, one situation where, hey, I can't get out. I couldn't leave. Well, pretty much everybody has a cell phone. And if you don't, and you left here somewhere, I guarantee your friends have it and they can borrow it. So there is a way to go. Again, you got to make the choice. Number 3, willful misconduct or conduct unbecoming of an athlete. Those are choices that are in or out of school. It could be law enforcement related. It could be misbehaving in classes. It could be being disrespectful to teachers. It could be lots of different things. This is kind of an open-ended one. Okay? So we want our athletes, obviously, to be respectful and not doing a lot of these different things. So again, it's all about choices. And finally, this one I had more issues with last year than I should have. But social media and online representation is actually becoming more bigger than some of the other ones. Because it's easier to access, and I can have the physical evidence right in front of me. So when you're online, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all those wonderful things that I don't even have a part of, Facebook, and you are posting things that are inappropriate, which go back to number 3, then we'll have a conversation. So again, be smart, be respectful, and do things accordingly. Now, if by some chance you happen to make one of those not so good choices, okay, and you said, you know what, I screwed up, I made a mistake. We have one chance. It only happens with your first offense. Okay? Self-referral. Call the office. My extension is 434. Leave me a voicemail. Call Mr. Hopkins' office. Leave him a message if you can't get a hold of me or can't figure out what my extension is. And leave him a voicemail. And that will allow us to say, okay, you made an attempt to let us know. I've had students do this several times. In fact, they found my phone number, got a hold of me, we had a conversation, and we talked a little more, we got back to school. And that means you will get a reduction in your first offense. 20% of a season down to 10%. Okay? It's okay. Sometimes you're going to make bad choices or poor choices. Right? But there's a way to actually work your way a little bit out of that by being honest and let us know. Now, if I find out about it or if I hear it from somebody else and it doesn't come from you, all right, this is not even a question. We're not even utilizing this. This is all the door. Okay? And full reduction in your good choices. Pretty simple, right? All opposite in those 4 words. Okay? And good choices are being obedient. Again, character. All right? What's more important than that? Not much. Okay? Keep those things going. Academics. This is for both parents and students to understand kind of what's going on. And I apologize for my cool things coming in as I push buttons, but this one didn't work and transferring over to Google Slides. Every athlete needs to be passing in order to play, to participate. Okay? You can practice, but in terms of events and so forth, you need to pass. So what we do at each semester, at 4.5, 9, and 13.5 weeks, Ms. Glasgow will run a grade check. And if you are failing any class at that particular point in time, you will then be ineligible until you get that grade back up to pass. That means all your grades, not just 1, not 2. You have 2 Fs, it doesn't matter. Both of those need to be backed up before you get back to point. So that means you're going to miss events. I've had coaches, I used to do this, I used to take the students and they'd get their books and we'd be at basketball practice and I would have a table, they'd be working on their homework while we were going up and down the floor, but they got their stuff done, then they'd come off practice. But it's a matter of your academics, your student first, and then athlete second. Now, at the end of the semester, if you're failing class, you will miss 1 game. This is 1 failure. Okay? If you are failing 2 or more classes, you are ineligible from 15 days, school days, after grades are posted. Okay? I mean, that's school days, that's not the weekends. So we have a semester, obviously, in June, a semester in January. So pretty much end of your winter season is going to be again, academics is going to be important. Make sure you keep those grades. And for the most part, we've had a really good process with you guys in making sure that takes place. Yes, Pinocchio was better. Having survived the shipwreck, Pinocchio finds himself alone in beaver-infested water. Okay, communication, super important here. Again, accountability is huge. All right, athletes, you have any issues from the get-go, you need to talk to your coach. Okay, you're going to have to do that as you get older. Now's a great time to start learning. All right, not going to handle anything until you have contacted and communicated with the coach. Parent contacts me. That's my first question to them. Did your son or daughter talk to their coach? Yes, what most of the time the answer is no. Right. So that needs to happen first. If you've got any issues with anything, again, playing time, that kind of stuff, coach is probably not going to talk too much about that. It's probably more your effort, your ability, what you're doing, are you working hard in practice, all those different things. Okay? Other issues come up, and student athlete to talk to the coach. Other things are there. Then we'll go down to talking to me. Come talk to me. We'll have a conversation. I'll have to talk to the coach. We probably more likely all three of us to sit down and have a conversation and resolve the issue. If necessary, we'll go to the AD and the coach with the parents involved. Then, if necessary, we'll go down to the phone. Usually, don't get past number 2. So, again, let's keep that communication going in the right direction. Positive communication. This is kind of leaning towards the parents. Again, you got positive things, don't be afraid to talk to the coach. Get a hold. Right? Let them know what's going on, that you see some good things happening out there, like what they're doing, all that good stuff. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. More of this is on timing than anything else. Half the time, the game's over, and all of a sudden now mom and dad are over there, or aunt and uncle, or grandpa, or whoever it might be, and then this stuff's going on. Right after an event is not a very good time to have a conversation with the coaching staff about whatever happened in that particular game. That's it. Okay? Think about it. Talk to your son and daughter. More likely you say, no, I'll talk to them. I'll take care of it, and we'll move things forward. So again, if anything else comes up beyond that, get a hold of me. Okay? Don't contact the coaching staff. So most of the time I can sort it out before we have to deal with any other issues with it. Okay? So again, anything negative, anything you have issues with, contact me. Don't contact the coaches directly. Or have your son or daughter take care of it. Okay? All right, parents. This was pretty simple. You guys all signed part of the code of conduct. This is exactly off of our current one that's on the website. I'll read some of these really quickly. Some things that you are signing and modeling and actually supporting. Be a supportive role model through my actions and words. Be a team fan. Support the entire team. Show respect for all at every event. Be respectful of all officials' decisions. Again, our roles are up there for every event, so if you need refreshers, take a look at those. Encourage and praise student athletes in their attempt to improve themselves as students, athletes, and people. Again, help with the character, folks. That'll help us so much as we move forward. Gain an understanding and appreciation for the rules of every sport that you are attending. Recognize and show appreciation for an outstanding play by either team. Promote that success, experience, and development of his or her skills, regardless of the team's record. Never tell my coaches that you have to win the conference. Now, we all have that desire that we want to win as many possible games as we can. Success isn't always measured up there. Success is measured in lots of different ways. Okay? Yeah, do we want to win conference championship? That's the ultimate goal. But the really ultimate goal is to get these guys to be young, great men and women, so that when they leave this place, they're going to be successful as they move forward. And there's some other things in there as well in terms of those types of things. Here's another short video by Coach. Again, I apologize for basketball. These are the ones I kind of followed and saw before. He's actually right now the UMass head men's basketball coach. Was at South Carolina. This is talking about coaching from the stands.
So you think you know Wix? Do you really? First up,
I know this. I'm the most animated coach that you've probably ever seen when my team's playing. I go watch my kids play. I don't say boo. I don't wave my arms. I don't try to coach my kids. With all due respect to most parents out there, I probably know more about basketball than most of them. Okay? But I sit in the stands and I don't say a word. There's two guys refereeing a fourth grade game on a Sunday morning. What could they possibly be making? $20 a game? I used to do that. I used to make $12 for 10 and under, 15 for 15 and under, and 17 or 18 bucks for high school age kids. Okay. So on a Sunday morning, instead of being in church, those guys are out there trying to make a couple bucks to pay their bills, feed your families. Do you think they really care what fourth grade team wins? Do you really think that they sat at home and said, I can't wait to officiate that game tomorrow? Because that one team, I can't wait to get that 10-year-old kid and embarrass him in front of people. Do you really think that's what they're doing? I don't try to tell my kid how they should play. You know what I told my two boys when they come at me? Why are you asking me, man? I didn't run your practice. Go talk to your coach. But don't talk about your coach in front of me. Because if you are, then you're not playing basketball. You don't understand why you didn't play better? Go talk to your coach. I'm not your coach. I'm your dad. Somebody disrespects you, then I'm here. If you fail, good, deal with it. I'm going to help you get up. But don't come talk to me about coaching. I do this for a living, man. I'm not going to criticize the guy that's trying to help you. And then the other part. So that's the officials. Do you think those coaches coaching fourth grade kids are making any money? So there's someone that's giving up their personal time on a Sunday for free to help other people's children. Yet we're going to have the adults in the stands yelling obscenities at the officials, criticizing every decision the coach makes, yelling at the kids like the kids, they're 10 years old, man. Like if they're LeBron James and Dwayne Wade playing in the NBA Finals, like they know how to handle their coach over here and their parent over here yelling at them. Then we wonder why kids get confused, man, why kids rebel, why kids don't know how to listen. How can you listen when you got so many voices in your head at the same time? You know what life teaches you? Shut things off. And that's the part that's frustrating to me. And it's if someone wants to be so animated when there's a basketball game going on, then go coach the team. Go run practices. Show up every day at 6 o'clock at night and run an hour and a half practice. And then you got your team to coach, or be an assistant coach, sit on the bench, yell all you want. I don't care if people on the bench yell at my kids. I got two boys. If they don't deal with my children, my children won't be on their team. My child acts up or doesn't do things the way that they're expected to do things by them, not me. And they let it happen, I'm taking my son off the team. I want my son to be challenged, and both of my boys. I want them to grow up. I want them to understand what life's about. But that's the part that's sad, man.
Now, I've coached my kids since they were this tall. Now that they're getting to this age, I'm trying to not coach them. And my wife had to yell at me this past year as I was saying stuff in the stands. He hits it on the head. Let them play. Let the guys on the benches. Let the guys that are getting paid to take care of it. Let them coach. Cheer them on. Support them. Okay? Those are the things that are going to be much more better as you move forward with your son and child. I told a story a long time ago at my first board meeting. When I was a freshman, my dad, after a basketball game, rode home with him, which was my first mistake. I should have jumped on the bus and rode with my teammates. It was Friday night, cold winter, February, coming home. We had lost. He thought we should have won. I thought we played our best game of the year. And all I heard was this and this and this and this and this all the way on the ride home. Got to the house, I walked to the house, followed me around the living room in the house. All the way down, I was just about going upstairs to my bedroom, and I finally turned around and looked at him and said, Dad, if this is how it's going to be after every event, and I was a freshman, I said, I don't want you to come to my games anymore. And I walked down the stairs. I thought he was going to follow me down the stairs. And he did. I can't imagine what went on in that bedroom that night with my mom and dad in terms of, I know my mom heard me tell him what I said. after that, I had no issues. Dad cheered me on. The next day, we'd be doing something. He finally would ask me something about the game, but he would not push me in any other direction. So parents, that ride home, not a good time to talk about. Just congratulate. Tell them, hey, good job, you worked hard. You want to talk about it more the next day, and you want to bring it up, that's a great time. But not right away. It's not the greatest time to talk about it and start rehashing it. If they bring it up and they want to talk about it, then there you go. There's your athlete. But let them be the ones that do it. Athletes, your coach really doesn't determine your playing time. Your own choices do. Choices. Your effort, your attitude, your work ethic, and more. So again, playing time is going to be determined by what you do. This is for anybody that wants this. I'm not going to go through it. I have some handouts on the table out there. I'm just going to kind of show what it kind of looks like. This is a step-by-step way. If you want automatic notifications, and then this is an agreement with me with everything that's going on here, about schedule changes. You know, springtime obviously is always a headache, just because of the weather, and all of a sudden the snow finally melts, the frost comes out, and we get ready. So it's, you know, fall again, a little bit here and there, wintertime snowstorms, that kind of stuff. But any kind of updates automatically go through this program called Our School, and we'll update it on the website and all the other fun things. But automatically, you can get them sent to your device. So it's text, email, whatever you want to be. And there is a 6-step process that you can go through, and the link actually is out on the website as well. But I have some handouts up there if you're interested for those signers. And again, anything that gets changed, the schedule gets adjusted, anything that comes up is automatically coming through that route. So again, those handouts are out there. I just want to kind of show you the initial page of it. They're not in color, but they're out there so you guys can take a look at it. And it's real simple. There's also an app too if you wanted to go to it. Katie Jensen, sorry I always call her Katie Stevens, she's a former student of mine, that's all I'm getting. Is one of our athletic trainers. And Ashley Knudsen is the other from Cumberland Healthcare, and they're the ones that are going to help our athletes get back on the bed if anything goes wrong with their health. They're here, Katie's here Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Those are new hours. They might change depending on how things go, but Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 3 to 4:30 p.m. If any other time you're in a Monday night practice or something, there's a back in action thing where you can call the clinic, and if it happens in one of our events, you can contact and set up an appointment throughout the day, and then they'll evaluate it when they have to take a peek at it. Saturdays as well, right? Okay, is that Saturday mornings, 8 to noon or something like that? Can't remember. You mentioned that to me. But anyway, there's another option there. So again, talk to your coaches. There's also Healthy Roster. Katie will update that as we go through. If your email is current in our Power School system, Katie has access to that, and you get all of the athletes signed up for that Healthy Roster. So if anything comes up, you'll get notifications through that email about your diagnosis and kind of what's going on and the route we're going to go to get that. So, any questions afterwards, we can ask me or all right, real quick reminders and we'll get out of here. Number 1, be patient and understanding. This is for everybody, including myself. A lot of times, too, I got to take a step back and say, all right, we just got to relax and get through this. Communicate positively as much as possible. Okay? Students, athletes, parents, everybody. Positively promote the programs we have here at the school and with our athletic program. Support and serve the teams. Team meals. Ask coaches what can you do to help. Volunteer coach, if you're interested. Coach Martin said, volunteer. And most of us will take the guys in and put you to work and do lots of different things. Coach Peterson over there volunteered many hours to our programs here in the last several years. And that was actually paid for. So, thank you, Mr. Peterson. Be kind and respectful to all, and obviously follow the Beavers path that you have up there. All right, thank you for attending tonight's meeting. A couple quick reminders. So, out on the table are some volleyball handouts. And some other high school, middle school, I know Patty's got some handouts over there in terms of paperwork in case you missed anything, so stop and see her. I know middle school and high school volleyball had something out there as well, and I know Coach Miller put a Dig Pink flyer out there. This year, the football team and the volleyball team, we have home events back-to-back Thursday, Friday, in October. 5th and 6th, right? Yeah, Thursday the 5th. Friday 6th, and Saturday the 16th, right here. Anyway, that's out there for your t-shirts. If you're interested in helping support that. Any questions, stop and see me. Otherwise, thanks for coming. great night.